Hello everyone, I am filming on the new camera, so I'm learning how to do this, so bear with me. Alright, walk around today, and we're going to talk about the different things that are going on in the garden. These are those basil that my husband had just thrown all those seeds in, and they're getting really big. But over here I have one of his holy basils that is smaller and getting choked out, so I've been contemplating pulling one or two of these sweet basils. I'm not sure yet. If I do, I'll let you know how and when and how I thin them and what I do. But for now, we're just going to let most of them go. As you can see, there's holy basil here, holy basil here, 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 and here. So like I said, I might just let those ones go because those are sweet basils, and I've got plenty of other holy basils. And then there's the other one, and this one has got a bunch, mostly holy basils in it. So I'm happy and satisfied. And then down here in that front bed that we had planted all kinds of, both me, my husband, and my son had all taken turns planting all kinds of things in here. And nothing's really popping up from seed except a random, well, bunch of trees that are always coming in. A random squash that I think got transplanted by a bird, and then a bean that I think is left over from last year. Another tree seed. These ones here are the next round of tree seeds I'll be pulling. You'll see me pulling the baby trees of those because the season of these ones is almost done. There's so many trees in the park, they're always constantly pooping seeds everywhere. Alright, this is what it's looking like, and I think I'm just going to leave this to the flowers and to what's going on here and just let it be. Up here, this green one of lilies, the green just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger since we transplanted it, but I don't have any flowers coming out quite yet. It might have flowered before we had gotten them. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, see, these are just leaves coming in the center. I'm not having, oh, I do. Looky, guys. I have a flower. Yay, you'll get to see a lily in a few days. All right. These are all those chives I had cut back. I gotta come out here and cut them back again. And then I'm still waiting for my son's flowers to flower. I don't know what's taking them so long this year, but I'll just let them be. I'm always picking these tree seeds out. Yeah. Tons of them. Alright, let's come over here and check out the potatoes. The potatoes here are doing beautiful. The 4 potatoes over here sprouted. I have one here that's only got 1 sprout on it, so I think the potato that was planted here isn't doing anything. So I'll come back in a week or two and shove another potato under there just to add more. And then the sweet basils, they're doing fantastic. And taking those leaves off the other day did not damage them. As you can see, this is where I popped the leaves off, and now new little leaves are coming in right at the joint. And that's what they'll just keep doing all summer long. And then in front here, I got this pot ready. I think we're going to get some flowers from the nursery and just plant some flowers. Ooh, bug in my garden. There he is. Now he ran away and hid from me. Ooh, there's another one. Ooh, that one's fast. A little spider. All right. Over here is those cabbages. They're still not wanting to do anything. I think it might be lack of water because this bed doesn't hold water very well. And then I've also got something that's eating on my cabbage. So I've decided to just let the cabbage be, not overly worry about it, and just see what neglect will do for it. Now this up here is leaf lettuce. So it's doing beautiful. It's doing wonderful. It's going to grow up and create some really good lettuce for us to eat. All this catnip. My cats have literally spread catnip all over my yard. When we first moved in, the previous owners, my cousin, had left a container of catnip, and my cats knocked it over and rolled in it, and they've spent the last 4 years rolling in it and rubbing it and spreading it. It's all over my yard. My yard is one great big catnip heaven, and that's why sometimes you see my cats in my yards just rolling around. Alright, this flower bed, all the flowers have flowered their flowers and have died back for the year. And that happens, except that one over there and this one here. These are those flowers from my son that I'm still waiting to flower. They still haven't done anything yet this year. So, more tree seeds. Let's go look at my husband's radishes that we were growing for the 100-day challenge. Ooh, I want to show you this stuff. I have beans popping up in the pots that I planted on the side of the house. Here, let's get this out of here. This is a dandelion. Anyways, beans. I mean, these beans are popping up better than the ones that did underneath my front steps. And then I have carrots coming in. These are leaves from a tree, or seeds from a tree. This is gonna be, like I said earlier, this is a new tree I'm gonna have to be pulling. All that little green you see everywhere are those little tree pods. Alright. Oh no, what happened here? It got squished. Oh, I wonder if this is flow from the roof. I wonder if this one happens to be sitting in a bad spot where the water from the roof pounds it. Same here. I might have to move these little front ones. And my lettuce. Yep. They're getting beaten up from the rain falling off the roof. We'll have to move these. I will show you where I move them and rearrange everything. But lettuce. Those are bachelor buttons. That's a flower. I'm not seeing any parsnips yet. Bachelor buttons that got beat up. The beans. And then turnips. And just a few of them. And carrots. So, ooh, lots of carrots. Lots and lots of carrots. I'm happy. And then this oregano is starting to pop and grow along the fish tank. So I'm happy about that. Ooh. This is what that tree seed looks like if it's allowed to go for too long. See, it grows into that. I don't know what that one is, but I'm pulling it. Alright. The radishes. And they're getting the living daylights eaten out of their leaves also. But it's not affecting the bulb growth underneath. So I'm not really too worried. I'm going to do some research and find out what kind of companion plants grow well with radish. So that when I'm actually growing radishes for quantity rather than just the experimentation that I'm doing, I can actually help prevent the bugs from eating them. Alright, next one was this anaerobic tank over here that ended up not working out for radishes. Even all the baby radishes in here got eaten on by something also. But this is such a wet mess. It's going to be great for, you just add a little bit of this to your watering can when I actually water. But I haven't had to water in a while because it keeps raining. So every time I go to water certain things, I don't need to because it just rained. Alright, back here. This is that Amish tomato paste of mine that I had planted from inside the house. It grew and twisted itself into funny shape, but it's doing happily wonderful. There's one of the beefsteaks I transplanted from out of the bench. I think I'm going to come in here with some dirt and pile up dirt up to here and then put more mulch on it so that it can grow some more roots. You see those fuzzy hairs? If you bury that, those will become roots. So I think I'm going to do that to give this even more. And then there's another one of the beefsteaks and another, those are those two beefsteaks that were stuck together. And they're doing wonderfully in this tank. They're all very happy. So I'm happy. Alright, over here. We had planted all those beans in here and only a few of them popped up. So I came in here and planted potatoes. And the potatoes are popping up. Ooh, let me get that out of the way. The potatoes are popping up. Oh, that's a marigold. Yay. Potato. I got potatoes all over the place popping up in here. And then a few beans. So I'll get some beans, which will make me happy. And then the onions over here are doing beautifully. And beans coming up with the onions. Now over here, those are those beefsteaks that I transplanted out of the bench. These ones went through a small 2-week hibernation while they settled themselves in, and now they're growing again. Whereas those ones in the other tank I just showed you, they didn't go through any kind of a 2-week hibernation, and they just started growing the minute they were planted. This is another one of those tree leaves that grew too fast. Alright. All my lettuce is coming in beautifully. These are those dwarf husky reds from the nursery, and they're doing beautifully. And look at this. Can I get a right angle in here? 1, 2, 3. You see that? Ooh, 4. Yay! And then when these tomatoes become ripe, I'll show you how to preserve them right off the branch. Oh, look at that. I've actually got some peppermint that's already starting to pop up away from the plant. Well, that's good news. My peppermint bed is going to take off and spread very beautifully. That's going to be nice. Look at that. See, again, another little peppermint already popping up away from the plant. Oh, I'm so happy. Alright, over here, there's that Italian parsley that's doing well. This is that random squash that I transplanted, and the rain between last night and this morning has started to cause it to do that mildew thing. So when we go out shopping here in a little bit, I'm going to be grabbing some neem oil and making some homemade spray for my plants. And then over here, see, they've started to get a little bit of a mildew on them too, and I want to get that stopped before it ruins my squash. There's the one lonely carrot, but he's got one friend that showed up. And then all of these ones are doing kind of okay. Last year this tank did so well with carrots, and now it doesn't want to, and that tank hasn't wanted to take off with carrots at all. I don't know what's going on. It might be the carrot seeds themselves. These ones are not the M.I. Gardener seeds. These ones are cheap Danver carrot seeds. So I might get myself a better carrot seed and try again. Excuse the noise. I have neighbors working on their property. Ooh, I see some mildew starting to come over here onto my pumpkins. So I've definitely got to get this taken care of. But look how beautiful they are. And then I have bachelor buttons popping up, but none of the hummingbird mix. And which one's this one? Oh, romaine lettuce. A little bit of romaine lettuce is coming up. That's not romaine lettuce, that's a prickly plant. Romaine lettuce. A bean, yay! I've got one bean popping up over here. Now, these, I don't know what these are. I didn't plant these. If anyone has any ideas of what this plant could be, please let me know down in the comment sections below. I'm thinking it might be milkweed, but when I was growing up, I never saw what the milkweed. We had a big field across from us that had milkweed in it. And I never went and looked at what it looked like when it was a baby. So I don't know what little milkweed looks like. But if you know what that is, let me know. Ooh, my dry flower mix is popping up. Over here I've got more dry flower mix. And my hummingbird mix isn't popping up. I think those seeds might have been old. Alright, all my crooknecks starting to pop up. And they've got that mildew going on also. I have to get out here with a homemade spray and get all of my squash sprayed. It looks like it's only happening to the crooknecks. So I don't know, but I'm going to make something and spray them. Still not seeing anything from the bachelor buttons here, or the hummingbird mix here, or the marigolds there. So, but I got beans popping up. Beans popping up. Parsley still not popping up yet. Now I've been reburying my pots deeper along the whole thing. I'll show you as we go. Because I've learned that the black pots get really, really warm, and then it starts to bake the roots of the plant. So I've been going along and reburying it. If it's a black pot, I try to get it buried as deep as possible. If it's a light colored pot, I don't worry as much. More pumpkin pies. More pickles popping up. More pumpkin pies popping up. Hummingbird mix isn't popping up. One pickle. I'm thinking this might be another one of the pots that the birds hit. I'm going to show you way at the end a treasure trove of buried treats from the birds. More pickles. Alright, let's go around. Marigolds that aren't popping up yet. These more of those pumpkin pies that none of them have popped up. I think the birds got a hold of these seeds also. So I'll come back out here and plant more. This is one of those beefsteaks that was taken out of the bench. Oh, this is another one of those two stuck together. They're doing beautifully and happy. That one there went through a 2-week slow growth, and it's starting to get new growth on it, so it's happy. It's another pumpkin pie. That's a marigold that's not popping up. This is an Italian heirloom, and this one is a dwarf variety, so it's not going to get very tall, but it's starting to get a bunch of tomato flowers on it. And all you have to do to pollinate them without any bees is just tap on it, because they can self-pollinate. Do I have tomatoes coming in yet? Not seeing any tomatoes yet, but plenty of flowers that look like they were pollinated. Oh, and the flowers are falling off. None of these have gotten pollinated yet. I'm not sure what this one's gonna do. But the other one is doing great. This Italian heirloom is just jamming away. Look at that. A whole bunch of tomatoes. And this is another beefsteak. It's gonna grow up big and beautiful. And then these are my son's pickles. They're doing wonderful. They're gonna start climbing up and then fall and drape down and climb along. This is an indigo rose, and at the moment I only have one tomato on it, but it's showing signs and proof of the fact that it's gonna pop out a lot more tomatoes for me. This chocolate basil just won't stop growing. Chocolate basil loves to grow. This is that health kick from the nursery, and it's got a bunch of tomatoes on it, so I'm very happy, and it keeps growing taller and taller, so I'm happy. Bachelor buttons that are popping up. Those are those Sweet 100 cherry tomatoes for my husband, and they're starting to show signs of getting really big. And I don't mind that my tomatoes are at different stages. It just means I'm gonna have a long harvest season this year. This is that beefsteak one where I got all the different beefsteaks from. I'm gonna put that back in there. I had pulled all the beefsteaks from around, and just these two are left, and they're growing beautifully. Then there's another health kick, and it's doing wonderful. It's got a few baby tomatoes on it that are a few baby tomatoes on it. Can't see them yet because they're under the flower. Here's another health kick that does have tomatoes on it. He's happy. Very happy. Ooh, let's get these flowers pollinated. There's another Italian heirloom. He's also really happy. Look at those beautiful striped tomatoes in there. Oh, they're gonna be so pretty. And I got some more up here. Some more flowers here that we just gently tap for pollination. And this one is a health kick. Does it have any tomatoes? I think it's got a cup. I think it's got one right there starting. He's getting big and beautiful also. Just gorgeous. And then a couple more of my son's pickles. This is one of those Amish tomato pastes that I had grown in the house that I thought was not going to make it. And they were those itty bitty tiny poor pathetic looking things, and now they're all doing, all the ones I brought out and got in pots are doing beautiful. We'll see all of them here. And then my purple basil, another Amish tomato paste, and then pickles. I don't know why these ones have the leaves yellow. It might be from... Okay, as I was saying, I'm not sure why these ones are turning yellow. I'm going to have to do some research. It might be because they got too wet because it's been raining a lot the last couple days. But I'll do research and let you know. There's another one of my Amish tomato paste. There's another Italian heirloom from the nursery. And it's doing beautiful and wonderful. It's got tomatoes here. Look at that. Ooh, I got tomatoes. Look at that little itty bitty one. Yay! Tomatoes. Alright, let's get these ones up here pollinated. Okay. a giant of Italy parsley that I had planted from seed that's not doing anything. And same thing with, ooh, no, look at that. You see? Look at that. I have a curled parsley coming in. Yay! Alright, the rhubarb. It was just a little rhubarb plant we had gotten from the nursery. Ooh, look at that. Yay! Okay, it has settled in and rooted and it's growing. This is another one of my son's pickles. My son wants a lot of my refrigerator pickles. He loves my refrigerator pickles, so we're gonna make a bunch of them. This is my best Amish tomato paste. This was that little itty bitty tiny pathetic runt one that I told you I'm pretty sure it was gonna die, and it proved me wrong. Instead, it is the biggest and the healthiest of all my Amish tomato paste. I'm excited. Bachelor buttons that are popping up. Another one of my Amish tomato paste. Rhubarb is going good. Marigolds that are about to open. I grew these ones from seed in the house. Alright, here is that surprise present from the birds. I discovered that some of the pots, it wasn't that the seeds didn't grow, it's that the birds took the seeds out and buried them over here in the wood chips. Oh, there's another one. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 random squash plants here. The bird nest is right up in the corner of my house up there. So they brought them over here, I think, to bury and hide the seeds close to them for edibility, and the seeds sprouted. Ugh, get that out of there. So I'm just going to let them be and see what happens. This is that holy basil of my husband's. That's doing wonderful. And then the sweet basil in the back there. Another one of those Amish tomato paste. This one took a little bit of time to get going, but it's going. These are just random peas I planted. And they're popping up and they're going to start growing up the bush. And wrapping and grabbing onto the bush. I think I detached that. Because here we go. Here's an example. You see that? His arm reaching in and grabbing onto the branch. They'll start climbing up, and then I'll have peas up the outside of this bush. Over here, when I plant my peas, I give them rope. And as you can see, this one's stretching for this rope. And this one's already got itself tangled. And then they'll get up here to the trees and start growing up. Yes, this bush that has become a tree. I got a lot more peas coming in. And another random squash. I think this is another squash that the birds have relocated. A bean, a ton of little peas, just a ton of them. There's another pea plant that has been growing for a while. I've given it a rope to climb. It's got itself wrapped around there. And then I just hooked this one around here to train it to come over to here and up. That's a tree. Pea. That's a tree. Pea. So I'm happy. This one's got a bunch of peas in it. Up here I've put a new pot. I haven't planted anything in it yet, but I think I'm gonna get a flower. And down there is a little one, and I think I might get and put some oregano in here to try to contain it to this small container and train the oregano to grow to be a big bush, and then I can bring it in my house. And then more peas. And then there's that random squash. Now this bed over here, I don't know. I will admit that I have honestly just given up. I keep trying to plant things. I keep trying to do things with it. It keeps putting out more weeds. And then the things I plant don't want to grow, but the weeds do. Or the things that the birds plant, see, more random squash. Like I said, there's a bird nest right up there on the corner. So I think all these random squash were planted by the birds taking them out of my pots. But this one here, I will admit, I've given up on this bed. I also catch my cats sleeping and napping in here. So I think that might be part of the problem with it. So I just decided to let nature have the bed and see what happens. Peas. More peas here, right next to this bush. It'll start growing up, grab itself, and wrapping around. I got several peas growing in, so I'm happy. And we're back at the beginning where we started. And there's a plant update, everyone. Thanks for coming along, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you know what that plant is at the back of my house that I think might be milkweed. Or leave a comment down below if you want to see me try to grow anything. Alright everyone, we'll see you in the next one. And remember, stay positive. Bye!